some of the points that David brought up on, the financial risk and impacts and what we're looking at from, crime as a service nowadays. I'm wondering if you guys are seeing more of a threat in certain verticals, or certain verticals less prepared than the financial industry. I think the financial industry, as David had mentioned, has had a lot of insights into this. They've been preparing for crypto and what's that impact on the financial world. But as we look beyond kind of financial services, banking, and insurance, are there other verticals that you guys are seeing that are more vulnerable to these type of attacks and should be focused more on preparation in the data in the back end? Have we seen that type of rollout, or is it just across the board, everybody's vulnerable?
I would say that we have seen shortcomings becoming particularly evident in all sectors. We've seen cases of violation of, sanctions and anti-bribery and export control laws, where enforcement authorities from different jurisdictions actually collaborate to build robust evidence to define civil monetary penalties, and this has been applied across any sector. There is no one specific sector, especially because criminals tend to adapt very quickly. Nowadays we talk a lot about trade-based money laundering and the sanctions evasion. Most of the sanctions circumvention happens through trade with third countries and impacting any sector, any company involved in exporting critical items, for instance. So I would not say that this is a peculiarity of the financial institutions. You need to understand, for a corporate company, for instance, all the phases of a trade process from initiation to settlement. That because would improve the detection capability and disruption success rate of illicit activities. And trade-based money laundering is one good example. So if you are a company, an importer or an exporter, you might probably, and this is the key in my opinion, you might not necessarily question or investigate the involvement of a third party in the payment settlement process. Why there is this lack of scrutiny, that it could be a major serious problem, could be to a variety of reasons, such as a lack of awareness about the potential risks or the trust in the financial institutions, which plays role of as a partner because he's handling the transaction. So you need to test your level of maturity, because you could be part of a scheme, knowing that transportation sectors, if you think of this, a global supply chain, they are becoming increasingly complex and they are susceptible to geopolitical shift. Look at what's happening in the Red Sea events, and what authorities like State Department or Homeland Security, they issue guidelines and best practices around transportation. Know your cargo, know your item. So I see really these across the board.